Hello Capricorns, this is your January love reading. Actually, it's for the time period of January 5th to February 5th, and let's just dive right on in. We're going to look at, I'll move these to the side because we're not going to use these just yet. Okay. For coupled and single Capricorns, for the month of January in the area of romance, what's happening? What will Capricorns be confronting in the area of love in January? What will Capricorns be confronting? Okay, we have the King of Pentacles. Okay. What tools will Capricorns, coupled or single, use to bring more love into their life or to heal a situation in January in the area of love? What tools? Okay, Eight of Pentacles. What tools? Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon card. All right, and then let's get these up. And then how does January to early February kind of end for the coupled and single Capricorns in the area of love? And what are the takeaways for this month? Oh, and we have the Hierophant. Any other takeaways that Capricorn singled and coupled will be either leaving behind in January in the area of love or taking with them into the month? Looks like we have. Okay. All right. Please give us additional advice on how we can bring more love into our lives for the Capricorns, coupled or single, and maybe give us further insight about what these cards are telling us. Any additional messages, Spirit, for January? Any additional messages? Okay. Now, what about the sensual and sexual energies for Capricorns in January in the area of love, single and coupled? What's happening here? We have Transformation, which is the Death card. And some sort of resistance to transformation, as the card looked like it came in reverse. Any other messages about the sexual, sensual energies going on? Oh my goodness. Let's try that again. Just one message, please, there's going to be a message. 3. Oh, I'm having clumsy moments. We'll just take that as a no. Put you up here. It's really coming down and raining today, which I love. Okay, and a final message for the Capricorn lovers, single and coupled, a lasting message that they can take away with them throughout the month. Something to ponder and focus on, or a little message from Spirit to you. Any other messages? Okay, love doesn't have to mean near. Interesting. You were born with that it quality. Okay, so let's see how all these messages tie together, Capricorn. So in January, it finds you with a sense, those singles, it finds you with a sense of boredom. You're not feeling fulfilled in the area of love, feeling a little unfulfilled, dissatisfied, left out, looking over at other people and seeing how they're living their lives, and how you have a longing for wanting to live your life the way that they're living theirs, and it's frustrating for you. So much so that you are starting to believe that maybe you're not going to have love manifest. But please remember that this is a process. This is something that's going to take a year or more to manifest for you. It's going to take some time. You're going to have to invest time into this situation, Capricorns. The King of Pentacles is about putting in that diligence, that time, that effort, and seeing it through to the end. And seeing it through to completion. And it may not always be perfect, and it may take a long time for it to manifest, but it will nevertheless manifest. So just know that to be true. Some of you are going to go on retreat, and it says it's time to disconnect from the world, to kind of come to an understanding for yourself that, you know, this is a cycle. Sometimes you're going to be in a relationship, sometimes you're not. For those who are in relationships, you've hit a boredom track or boredom groove in your relationship where you're feeling a little disenchanted, a little dissatisfied. But your partner is a trustworthy soul. They're, you know, diligent about making the love work with you. So you should just try to be patient, try to understand it. It may take some time to really get on the same page with one another, but it is a worthwhile investment. Pentacles is a slow-moving energy, and like I said, it could take a year or more to get things the way you would desire them to be. So you're going to have to bring patience. You're going to have to bring that patience with you. You know, this month, you're really focusing on attraction and chemistry, or lack thereof. Some of you are disenchanted by the fact that maybe your partner, you don't really feel attracted to them, you don't feel that chemistry, and you really are feeling that lack. And perhaps a vacation, a little weekend getaway for you and your partner may be on order and may be necessary to help reignite the attraction and the chemistry, because right now it just doesn't seem like you guys are, you know, are on the same track. Now, some of you are a little bit further ahead in this energy and may have already went on retreat with your partner or without your partner, and you come back and you are having attraction. You are getting past this Four of Cups energy and getting ready to go into the long haul energy with your partner. You're getting ready to say, okay, I retreated, I did some soul searching, I did some transformation here. I had some resistance to this transformation inside of myself, but I've got a better understanding and I have an appreciation for my partner. I'm wanting to do the work here. I'm not sure how things are going to turn out and turn about, but I'm willing to do the work here. And attraction and chemistry is born, but for many of you, you're not quite there yet. Some of you are at this point. Some of you are not. Some of you are having some severe resistance to the death card, to transformation, to evolving, having a certain aspect in your relationship come to an end, having a certain part of your thought process die, so a new, more, much more positive one that is still the truth of your situation, but much more positive about your love life comes through. So a truth, for example, would be you were born with that it factor. Sometimes we lose sight of the fact that we are sexy creatures, that we are sexual beings. Sometimes our partners forget that, and it leaves us a little frustrated and a little disillusioned and disenchanted. But it doesn't mean that the relationship is just meant to be thrown out. It means that these cards are signifying to me that you come to a realization during January that you're ready to put in the work, despite, sometimes having these little bumps in the road with your partner. Some of you, this is about being more open to having a long distance relationship, or you are actively in a long distance relationship, and this is confirmation that, yeah, sometimes the going gets rough. You feel like you're in constant vacation or retreat mode, but you have chemistry and attraction here, and love doesn't have to mean near. At time, there will be a time in the future that you both will be near, but sometimes some relationships are born from very, very far apart, very, different parts of the world. So don't rule out a relationship simply because it's like not next door to you, not in your neck of the woods, okay? Some tools that you'll be utilizing is the Eight of Pentacles, doing the work like I mentioned before, whether you're single or you're in a relationship. You have a goal in mind. You're starting to master dating, for example. You're starting to master communicating with your partner. Things are turning around with the Wheel of Fortune card. Things are starting to move in favor of your relationship. Things are moving in favor of you finding a relationship, of you being ready for a relationship, of attracting a relationship with someone you have some chemistry with. But it's not all clear. The path in January to the beginning of February is a little murky with the Moon card. You can't quite see around the corner. You're not quite sure what's to come, but you still move forward anyway. You still go through anyway. You still try to make the relationship work anyway, even though you don't know quite how to navigate it. It's all good. Your partner will meet you where you are. The universe, if you don't have a partner, will meet you where you are and bring you someone soon that you can have chemistry with. But you've got to be willing to go through this transformation and to release what is no longer serving you, to let it die. So that way there can be room for love to grow in your life. And then finally, what's the outcome at the end of the month, or the takeaways? We have the Hierophant, and we have the Knight of Swords reverse. So the Hierophant is saying, some of you are maybe going to a spiritual center and maybe meeting a mate there, where you have actual chemistry and attraction with someone there. Others of you, this is you maybe going back to school even, and it may feel like you're going backwards, but in fact, it may be where you meet your partner. It may be where you meet a passion for yourself. So don't be so hard on yourself about that. For some of you, the Knight of Swords reverse is about lack of being a little stubborn about moving forward and moving ahead. And now it's time with like being a little bit more disciplined. You know, with the Hierophant, I think of the religion card. I think of someone who is pious and who is faithful to what they're trying to manifest and what they're praying for and trying to have, which is love. And so sometimes you have ideas that contradict it, and sometimes you're just not even moving forward when you're being tugged and pulled to move forward. This is why I think that there's a lot of resistance for some of you to moving ahead and changing in your love life, because you just have this aversion to change, and you're going to have to soften that aversion to change so you can start to move forward, because it's hindering you in your love life. So it's something that you need to work on. And again, you may have to open up your ideas, open up your idea of what love, where it may come from, whom it might be with, what that person might look or sound like. And it will open up many doors for you who are single. And for those who are in relationships, it's time to maybe be much more willing to compromise with your partner. You are in a relationship after all. And, things don't always have to go your way or always have to go their way. But there could be a middle ground. And you both can find that together, and maybe even going to a church counselor or going to church together and kind of hearing some words of wisdom about how to move forward together. So that's something to think about. Some of you may even actually be getting married and then questioning if you should have even gone forward, and even wondering about possible annulment. But at the end of the day, you stick it out. Love doesn't have to mean near where you're always there with love or always having it on all the time. You can also have off moments too, as we see with the swords reverse. So you cut yourself some slack, even in the resistance that you have about moving to a new future. Give yourself some leeway and some wiggle room and some time to have a little chocolate if that's what you need. All right, my dears, well, have a lovely, lovely, blessed January, and I will see you all soon. Bye.